Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a nice full body gentle yoga flow. So I'm not going to use any specific props today, but you're going to need just a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. So let's begin today in child's pose. So you can come onto your knees and bringing them out nice and wide. And of course, if you do like to have a pillow under your forehead while you're in child's pose, you can definitely grab something to rest your forehead on. But I want you to bring your knees out wide, your big toes nice and close together, sitting those hips back towards your heels, reach your arms out in front. Push into those palms a little bit to encourage your hips back towards your heel a little more, to encourage some length throughout the spine. And then you can start to relax your forehead all the way down and soften your shoulders and close the eyes. And just take a nice big breath in and out. And just start to scan your body. How are your legs feeling in this position? Your hips. Can you relax your shoulders even more? Can you soften through your tummy and take a nice big inhale and feel your stomach expanding? And as you exhale, gently draw your belly button back towards your spine just a little bit. And then you can keep your arms straight out in front of you. If you want to add a bit of a side stretch to this, we're just going to walk our hands over towards the left side so you can lift your chest and your forehead up. Walk your hands over. Find some length through your arms so you're kind of reaching, but still sending the hips back towards the heels. And then you can try to drop your forehead back down and lower your chest as well. And you might feel stretch through that right arm, maybe all the way through that side of the oblique. But just soften. And if you did walk your hands over towards the left, we're just going to use an inhale to lift on up. Walk the hands back to the middle of the mat. Send those hips back towards your heels as you come through center. Walk your hands over to the right side. And we're probably off of our mats here with our hands, creating some length, almost like you're reaching your hands away from you. And then resting the forehead back down if you can. Or maybe it's a cheek. Awesome, you guys. And with an inhale, start to come back through center. Bring your palms right out in front of you. Push into them a little bit. Try to connect your hips back towards your heels and look to your fingertips. Maybe drop your chest a little bit. Awesome, you guys. And then let's use an inhale to lift the hips up away from those heels. You can walk your hands in under your shoulders, spread your fingers nice and wide, and let's tuck our toes. Take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, lift the knees and find downward facing dog. And let's just warm up a little bit more here so it feels good to walk your dog, pedal your feet a few times, bend one knee, straighten the other, switch sides, push into your palms, get into those shoulders, let your head be heavy. And then maybe you can breathe a little bit deeper. Continuing to scan your body, just notice how things are feeling today. Are there any thoughts that are still on your mind that you could set off to the side? And then take one last nice big breath in and out. Using an inhale, you can start to look forwards between your hands, and exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, lift halfway, going for a nice long spine, and exhale as you fold forwards. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing, reaching up, looking up. And exhale as you bring your hands through heart center, down to your sides, roll your shoulders back and down, taking a nice big inhale as you reach your arms up, and an exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, let's fold and plant our hands and step both of the feet back into downward facing dog. And you can start to walk your big toes together. We're going to use an inhale to lift the right foot up. It can lift a little bit, it can lift a lot. As you exhale, we're going to send that right foot forwards between our hands. So help that right foot get all the way up to the top of your mat. And then I want you to drop your back heel. So keep your back knee lifted, but place your back heel on the mat. Using a big inhale, we're going to start to lift the upper body all the way up. Warrior one. So we're bending the front knee. Our belly button is shining forwards. That back heel's down. The foot's kind of out at an angle so that you can shine your belly button forwards. And you can have your hands together in front of your chest. Or you can reach on up. Warrior one. Strong through those legs. Soft through the shoulders. Let's take just one more inhale here. And as you exhale, bring your hands slowly down to the floor and let the heel lift. That back heel can lift on up. Take an inhale, start to look forwards if you can. And exhale, bring your back foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Folding forwards. Inhale. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up, look up, and let's just pause at the top, standing tall. Take one more inhale. And let the exhale bring you back down. Slowly fold all the way down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Walk your feet all the way back into your downward dog. Spread your fingers wide. Look to your toes for a moment. You can start to walk your feet together and use an inhale to lift the left foot. A little, a lot, whatever feels good. And exhale. Let's bring that foot forwards. Help your foot get all the way to the top of your mat and then start to drop your back heel down. Just know that you can move that back foot as you start to lift your chest, and you might not be super sturdy. You can always adjust those feet. So an inhale, lift that chest up if you haven't already. Bending that front knee, try to shine the belly button forwards instead of to the side. Shine that belly button forward. So move your front or your back foot if you need to get that belly button to shine forwards. And maybe your inhale is going to lift your arms up above the head. Awesome, you guys. Just one more inhale. And let the exhale bring you back down. Spin your heel up and take an inhale as you look forwards. Exhale, bring your back foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, let's fold forwards. Plant your hands, walk your feet back into your downward dog. Awesome work, you guys. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, bring your knees to the mat. Set up your tabletop. Walk your hands so they're under your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. So I want you to extend your left leg behind you. And we're just going to start here by tucking the toes, pushing the ball of the foot into the mat. You might be getting a nice little calf stretch, ankle stretch as you encourage your heel to the wall behind you or to the floor beneath you. Nice, you guys. And that left leg, we're just going to move it a little bit. So it's going to start behind us as it is now. And then maybe we can walk that foot over to the left side and keep walking that foot all the way so that maybe it becomes in line with our hip. And these toes, maybe you can point them forwards to the top of your mat and that leg's just out to the side. Make any adjustments you need to so that you're nice and balanced. That leg is out to the side. And then we're going to try to drop our chest down. So you can come onto your forearms. You're just going to keep your hips nice and high. You can stay on your hands if it does feel better, if it's quite an intense stretch for that inner leg. You can stay up on your hands, but you can also come down onto your forearms or try to bring your chest all the way to the floor. And if you want to get into your shoulder a little bit here, we're just going to walk our hands over towards our foot. So maybe you can grab onto your calf. Maybe your hands are just on the floor in the direction of your foot. Maybe you can actually grab your foot. And if that right shoulder wants to come down and your head can even relax as well, let it. Nicely done, you guys. And if you are kind of laying down a little bit or your chest is a little bit closer to the floor than we started, just use an inhale to lift yourself all the way back up. And we're going to walk that left leg back. So let's come out as we came in. Walk it back. Take a couple steps. Take it back, take it back, take it back until it's all the way right behind you. And keep that leg extended. And you can keep the foot on the floor or you can let that foot hover. If you want to add your right arm for a little extra, add your right arm, find your balance. Look to the floor beneath you. One more inhale here. And let the exhale bring your hand and bring your knee back down into your tabletop. The option to rock your hips a little. Let's take a moment. We are going to be switching sides. So we'll start, let me change directions here. I'll be kicking the wall. So start with your hands and your knees down and then extend your right leg behind you. Let's get that nice little calf stretch as we push the ball of the foot into the mats. And then whenever you would like to, you can start to walk that foot over towards the right side, to the right. Walk it over. Try to get that foot straight out from your hip and point your toes forwards as best you can. Again, we want to kind of feel a little stretch through the leg. That's extended. So make any adjustments so that you're nice and balanced. You can stay on the hands. You can lower down. Keep the hips high though. Relax. And maybe you're walking your hands towards your foot or grabbing onto your calf. Dropping that left shoulder down. Maybe even resting your head, getting nice and comfy if it's available. Nice work, you guys. Using an inhale to lift the chest back up whenever you're ready. And you can walk your foot back behind you, keeping it extended out long with the option to hover the foot, find your balance, and maybe adding the left arm, reaching out in front. Nicely done, you guys. Take another inhale and use the exhale to bring your hand back to your mat. All fours, hands and knees. And then we're just going to take child's pose. So you can bring your knees out even wider. Big toes together. Send your hips back. Reaching your arms out in front. Push into those palms a little bit. Create some length through your spine, through your arms. And then relax and soften and breathe. Nice work, you guys. When you're feeling good, just use an inhale to lift your forehead, lift your chest. Walk your hands a little closer towards you. We're just going to cross our ankles. Have a seat. Keeping your legs out in front. Let's keep our knees bent and our feet planted about hip width apart. And we're going to roll down all the way onto our backs, but I want you to roll one vertebrae at a time. So hang on to the back of your legs so that this can be a nice slow roll. And bring your chin towards your collarbone and gently start to roll down. And you might need to bring your feet a little closer. You might need to draw your belly button in and use a little bit of core strength to slow down your descent. Keeping that chin tucked until your shoulders touch down. And then let the back of the head find the ground as well. And you can walk your feet even closer towards your hips. We're going to rest our arms at our sides. Make sure your feet are about hip width apart here and walk your heels a little closer towards your hips. You might be able to lightly touch the back of your heels with your fingertips. That's how close your heels are to your hips. And if you can't, that is completely fine as well. Just a little rule of thumb to think about. And then bridge pose. We're going to use an inhale. You're going to push into your feet and you're just going to start to lift your low back and your hips off of the mat. And you can lift those hips as high as you're able to do so. And then thinking about lifting the hips, but also thinking about lifting the chest. So you might kind of walk your shoulders, tuck them underneath you a little bit more to help gain some height through the chest. Just think about bringing your chest towards your collarbone, your chest towards your chin, without moving your chin towards your collarbone, bridge pose. Also feeling some length through the hip flexors. A little bit of work for those quads. And let's take another inhale. And let the exhale bring your hips all the way back down to the ground. The option to add a little rock side to side with the knees, a little windshield wiper movements. Awesome, you guys. Let's reach our arms out wide, weighing down the shoulders. We're going to let our knees fall over towards the left for a twist. So you can let your knees fall all the way to the left. Shimmy the shoulders so that right one stays down. Just close your eyes. Breathe a little bit deeper. Noticing where you feel this twist. Maybe you're getting some love through your legs, your hips. Maybe you're feeling some love through your back and your spine. Awesome, you guys. With an inhale, we're going to lift our knees back up and just bring your feet to the ground, your low back to the ground. Just going to find your center again. Reach your arms out. We're going to weigh down those shoulders, especially the left one this time. And our knees are going to fall to the right. And once your legs are going as far over to the right side as they're going to go, close your eyes. Slow everything down. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale when you're ready to lift the legs back up. Bringing your feet to the mat, your low back to the mat, maybe adding a rock side to side. Windshield wiper movement with those knees. You can even bring your knees into your chest. Continue to rock side to side if it feels good. Or maybe you'd like to join me in Happy Baby, just letting the knees come out wide, encouraging them towards you. You can keep your toes together if it feels good and hang onto your knees, or full Happy Baby, reaching for the feet, maybe hanging onto those big toes with your peace fingers. And then think about encouraging your low back down into the ground, legs to lift. You might feel some more love through the hips if you encourage it back down. Nice, you guys. And if you've got your feet, or you're hanging onto your knees, start to let go. And everything can start to come back down to the floor. And you can walk your feet down to the bottom of your mat. Spread your feet out nice and wide. And let's just clasp our hands together behind the head. Encourage your chin towards your collarbone, bring some length into the back of the neck. And look at your feet. Make sure they're on the edges of your mat, nice and wide. Take another inhale with the head lifted. And as you exhale, gently place your head down. Oh, and you can bring your arms to your sides. Flip your palms to face up. Letting your entire body be nice and still. Letting go of any effort that you might still be putting into your breath. And just let it happen naturally. And instead of letting your mind wander off, getting lost in all the thoughts, just continue to focus on your breath. Observe it. I encourage you guys to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you have time for today. And I hope that you enjoy whatever comes after this practice. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Namaste.